It's my honor to be your students or classmates. And today the paper I want to talk about named Investigating the Effect of Use and Social Cues in Food Advertisements on Attention, Feelings of Social Support, and Purchase Intention. And the paper was written by Liu Jiawei and Rachel Bailey in 2020. First is the abstract. In an effort to understand how different types of food cues in food ads are automatically encouraging unhealthy eating behaviors, the current study examined how the presence of actual food consumption behaviors and presence of multiple individuals endorsing food products in fast food ads would influence individual attentional and behavioral responses. Findings demonstrated that participants paid greater attention to the fast food ads, which contained multiple people eating the advertised food products, when compared to other types of fast food ads. In addition, participants also self-reported greater social support and purchase intention when seeing use and group cues in ads. Understanding how these cues function in food advertising to encourage unhealthy eating may help health practitioners and individuals create more helpful intervention strategies. Further, applying these marketing tactics to ads for food products that are healthier may help to maximize healthy food palatability, thereby increasing motivation for viewers to make autonomous decisions about eating healthier. And the purpose of this research is that it is still not clear how different types of food cues in food advertisements affect motivational activation and subsequent thoughts and behaviors. This study aimed to fill this gap. In particular, this study focused on examining ads that presented different kinds of food use and social support cues. And the next page is conceptual definitions of important constructs. First, the food cues. The food cues are sensory signals in our environments that are representative of food or eating opportunities and generally create craving and motivate eating behaviors and potentially subsequent weight gain. And use cue. Use cue is defined in this study as actual food consumption behavior in food advertising. In other words, any given food ad depicting people eating the advertised food products can be seen as a food ad containing a use cue. And last, a social cue. A social cue in this study refers to presence of actors in the advertisements. The next part is the research method. Firstly, I listed the hypotheses of this research. The hypothesis 1. The presentation of use cues in food ads will allocate stronger appetitive activation resulting in greater attention, index with greater heart rate declaration, compared to ads that do not contain use cues. Hypothesis 2. The presentation of use cues in food ads will lead to greater perceived social support, indexed with self-report measures, compared to ads that do not contain use cues. Hypothesis 3. The presentation of use cues in food ads will lead to greater purchase intentions, indexed with self-report measures, compared to ads that do not contain use cues. Hypothesis 4. The presentation of group cues in food ads will allocate stronger appetitive activation, resulting in greater attention, indexed with heart rate declaration, compared to ads that contain individual cues. Hypothesis 5. The presentation of group cues in food ads will lead to greater perceived social support, indexed with self-report measures, compared to ads that contain individual cues. Hypothesis 6. The presentation of group cues in food ads will lead to greater purchase intention, indexed with self-report measures, compared to ads that contain individual cues. Hypothesis 7. The presentation of use and group cues in food ads will allocate stronger repetitive activation, resulting in greater attention, indexed with heart rate declaration than other types of food ads. Hypothesis 8. The presentation of use and group cues in food ads will lead to greater self-perceived social support, indexed with self-report measures than other types of food ads. Hypothesis 9. The presentation of use and group cues in food ads will lead to greater purchase intention, indexed with self-report measures than other types of food ads. And the participants of this experiment is that a total of 164 undergraduate students from a large Northwestern State University participated in the experiment in exchange for extra credit. Participants ranged in age from 18 to 35 years. And this is the design of the study. The current study uses 2 types of use cue and 2 types of social cue and 3 repetition within subjects factorial design. This design was fully crossed. Thus, participants viewed 12 food ads of 4 types. First, food ads with group cues. Second, food ads with individual cues. Third, food ads with group and use cues. Fourth, food ads with individual and use cues. The food ads were presented in random orders in the experiment. In the psychophysiological investigation, the addition of a time factor was included in order to investigate these variables collected at each second of exposure to the messages. The next part is the instrumentation of some dependent variables. The heart rate. The heart rate was measured as an index of attentional resource allocation. Social support was measured by having participants respond to the question that most people who influence what I do think that I should definitely buy this food item, ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Purchase intention was accessed using 2 items. First, if this food item was available in these shops, I would intend to buy it. Second, I'm strongly for buying this food item. Response option ranged from strongly disagree to strongly agree. And the next is the results of this study. PIOS comparison results indicated that food ads with use cues allocated significantly stronger heart rate declaration when compared to those with no use cues, indicating participants paid more attention to the food ads with use cues when compared to those without use cues. And the results indicated that the presentation of use cues in food ads lead to higher levels of self-perceived social support and purchase intention than those without use cues. So the hypothesis 1 to hypothesis 3 was supported. And for the hypothesis 4 to 6, pairwise comparison results indicated that food ads with group cues allocated significantly stronger heart rate declaration when compared to those with individual cues, indicating participants paid more attention for the food ads with group cues when compared to those with individual cues. The results indicated that the presentation of group cues in food ads also led to higher levels of self-perceived social support and purchase intention than those without use cues. So the hypothesis 4 to 6 was supported. As can be seen in Figure 1. The Figure 1 is in next page. The presence of group and use cues in food ads allocated stronger heart rate declaration when compared to other types of food advertisements, indicating viewers paid more attention when we view food ads with group and use cues than other types of food ads. Thus, hypothesis 7 was supported. This is the figure 1, and we could say that the hypothesis 7 was supported by this figure. However, the two-way interaction effect of use cue and social cue on social support and purchase intention were not found. Though the differences were not statistically significant, the means in these dependent variables were in the predicted direction. Based on the visual inspection of the means shown in Figure 2, it was appropriate to further investigate the non-significant interaction. Post hoc analysis using biosamples t-text. The results of the post hoc comparisons for the social support means shown in Table 1 indicated that use cues were more powerful in allocating perceptions of social support than social cues. If use cues were present, the influence of social cues was not addictively significant. A similar pattern emerged for the purchase intention results. If use cues were present, social cues did not increase purchase intention. However, if use cues were not present, group social cues did increase purchase intentions. Based on our results, the interaction of use and social cues on purchase intention and social support was driven by use cues more than the social cues. And this is the discussion of this study. Healthy food ads with more than one actor promoting and eating the advertised food products may allocate greater attention and stronger perceived social support, thereby motivating viewers to make purchase decisions. In addition, it is also well worth developing health education intervention strategies based on the results from this study. And it is important to bring this and similar findings to the attention of policymakers who may play a vital role in shaping what can and should be limited and included in the advertising of highly problematic foods like fast foods. Currently, the federal government relies heavily on FDA-led labeling interventions and food industry self-regulation efforts. Understanding how the appeals themselves, rather than only the claims and labels, are encouraging or discouraging eating behaviors at a biological affordance level may provide valuable insight that can improve current interventions. There are two limitations of this study. The first is that the sample of individuals selected were college students who may not be representative of the overall adult population. Another limitation of the study is that we use self-report questions to measure food consumption intentions after watching the food ads. Finally, the references of this paper. This paper has so many references, and I just listed a part of them. This is the end of my presentation. Thanks for your listening.